it's Shaylee. Today is a 10-minute mom makeup video, summer edition. I did one of these videos back in January, and today I'm doing very similar. I just switch out a lot of the products to be a little bit more like seasonal colors, more glowy for summer. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it below, but you're not missing much by not seeing it. So just jump right in with me today. But like, just to show you, like, here is the blush and the lip I have, and then this is the eyeshadow. So just see how everything's like a peachy nude brown vibe. That's the vibe I was going for in today's video for summer. Before I start, I'm just putting a little body butter on, but I thought I would show you because it is very summery. I get this at Trader Joe's. It is, I think, limited in the summertime. Brazilian nut body butter. It smells like vacation in a container. Okay, I'm gonna tuck this back. So first thing I always do is eye primer. I feel like I do some things a little different in summer, but obviously like eye primer, you don't need to change your eye primer. By the way, I don't think I mentioned it, but yeah, same as last time, Painterly from MAC. I've used this for years. It's just a great base because it's really long wearing, matte, and just cancels out all of your veins and stuff on your eyes. You could totally just wear that. They even have a bunch of other colors of this, way more skin tones of this. I just get the lightest, more pinky one because that's closest to my skin. Okay, next, brows. And in the first video, I skipped this because I feel like brows are so different for everyone. If you have a great big natural brow, you can just throw some brow gel in it. For me, I have microblading, but it literally is from 2018. So it's pretty faded. The front half of my eyebrow is almost all just microblading, and so is the arch, you could probably tell. So I tend to go in and kind of build up those areas more so and barely put anything in the rest of my eyebrow. But I thought to switch it up this time, I would show you because not everyone does have perfect brows. So maybe you can get some inspo from someone like me who has to kind of fake it. But what I like to do is use this Anastasia dip brow and an angle brush. This is a 263 from MAC. Dip it in there, and then I use the cap and I wipe it back and forth to make sure that that brush is really narrow and skinny so I can create hair-like strokes. You can even like pinch it with your fingers. Okay, so usually I do this with like a little magnifying mirror, so I'm gonna try to do it in this little mirror here. So I'll just get kind of a few like that, and then when there's less on your brush, you can just kind of go back and do like really light strokes just to add dimension in there so it looks more like the rest of your brow. Go back, get more. Sometimes I'll do it down, kind of following the real hair growth, but I want it to all look spiked up lately. In summer, I just like that like messy, effortless brow. So I'm also gonna go kind of up with these strokes. And nothing's precise, like it's just really messy. Another trick I wanna say is I start closest to my eyebrow. If you go in right where you want your last stroke to be first, you have the most product on your brush at that time, so it's darker. So I like to start back, like toward my real eyebrow, and then as you move forward, you have less and less on your actual brush. I went a little high there. It's fine, you just wipe it off like that. That's why I like to do this first. All right, then I'll kind of lean back, and I feel like I have like a little dot in there that's lighter. I probably like lost a brow hair in there. Just fill in any like holes you have. I know it seems like I'm spending a lot of time on eyebrows, but it's just because I'm explaining it. Like when I do this, I'm just like done. So that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna go back with clear brow gel at the very end after all the powders have been put on our face. So let's move on now to skin. I like to do like a squirt or two of my moisturizer. This is Cetaphil Oil Absorbing Moisturizer with Sunscreen. I love this because I have kind of normal skin. It's not oily, it's not dry, but it's 100 degrees or more where I live outside most days in the summer, at least high 90s. So if you're outside, you're sweating, you need sunscreen. So I love using this, but instead of putting it on as its own thing, I mix it in with my foundation. So this is the foundation I've been using, the Real Flawless by Laura Mercier. I love this. I've been talking about this for months. I'll put like 2 squirts of that, and then 1 pump of this Kosas Glow IV. This stuff is just a glowy liquid. It's so pretty. You can just wipe this like on your collarbones. It's beautiful. I know, again, this seems like a lot, but I'm just basically making a glowy tinted moisturizer. That's what I'm doing. I already messed up, but in true mom mode, you know, I was just moving forward and forgot. So just the same way as in the first video, the winter, I like to put my bronzer on first and then kind of buff it out with my liquid foundation that's already on my face. So go back real quick, grab a skinny foundation brush and put a liquid bronzer all where you would wear your normal bronzer and just kind of buff it in there. I like it on my cheeks right there, a lot right here. You can totally put this on top of foundation. I just find it a little bit easier to blend all together if it's underneath, because then it's not so like harsh, you know? I'm using the Anastasia cream in the color Golden Tan. They have a ton of colors of this. I really like so many different products. I like the Selena Gomez Rare Beauty sticks. I like the Mario sticks. Okay, so we're back to this. So I like to go all the spots that I didn't put bronzer first so that my brush is nice and clean. But see, like, let me show you with this light closer to me. It's just very glowy. I just love it so much with that Kosas Glow product. It just, after you've done all those areas, now I go back over like where the bronzer was. And this is basically like mixing in now this darker color with what you already created. This is darker than my face, so make sure you drag everything down, because also like we wear hats or we wear makeup on our face and neck, so it never gets quite as tan as like our chest and our shoulders. Now we need to brighten up our under eye and cover any darkness we've got going on. I've been using the Kosas concealer lately. I like it because it's pretty hydrating, more like dewy than some of the other ones in my collection. I will say they have such a good shade range that it took me a while to find my color. Everything was way darker than I thought it was gonna be. So like if you're a fair girl, stay at the lower numbers. Like this is 2.5. And I'm just going in with my beauty sponge. You can use a brush. I like to carry it all the way up so it lifts up this part of my face. And then I like to go kind of in the inner corner of my eye to brighten up that area. Whatever is left on my sponge, I'll just kind of take it on my chin. I'm obsessed with this. It's called Virtue by Rare Beauty. Now this is very pigmented. A little goes a long way. So what I like to do is put some on my hand. See, like a little goes a long way, so be careful. I like to kind of go upwards like that. And again, like the last video, I feel like it's so similar, it really is, but I'm just using more like glowy summery products. I like to carry it over because we're out in the sun. It kind of ends up looking like, oh, you got some sun. Just pull it up over your nose too. And then if you're ever feeling like, oh my gosh, it's just too crazy, go back with your foundation brush. That's the beauty of all of these liquids. Like you can just kind of switch back and forth between your brushes and calm it down, see? If you're super dry, just move on. I do tend, like I said, it's 100. I like to set this with powder because when I go outside and run an errand, it's gonna melt away if I don't. I really like the Huda Beauty powder lately. It is kind of messy, as you can see, but it's beautiful. This is in the shade Cupcake. I just use a little setting brush. And I only just set under my eyes, above my lip, because we know that's like where you get sweaty. Carry it down here, like the T-zone area. This is Emphasize from MAC. If you're crazy like me, you can go back and add this. It's just so brightening, and I've been on a kick lately with it. I go back and forth of using that. I just love brightening up the under eye because I've been tired. I've been real tired lately. Okay, so that's like pretty much it for skin until our highlight at the very end. I like to switch to eyes now. These are so beautiful. So these are little trios from Glossier. This is in the color Almond, and it's like a pinky orange brown. Just such a good color combo with the Virtue blush. So it's kind of like a monochromatic thing we're going for here. I'm gonna use a bronzer. I feel like I just use so much stuff and it seems complicated, but I promise like I really do this so fast once you get the hang of it. So I'll just go with a big fluffy brush first and put bronzer in my crease. As you can see, like done. It's that quick. And then I'll take an actual like crease brush. That was a big fluffy one because guys, I have so much room. I sometimes feel like I need like 2 crease shades, even if it's as quick as adding a bronzer. So they have 1 matte color in here and then 2 shimmers. So use your matte. Don't start on the outer corner. We don't want cat eye look. You know, start right in here. I like to do a windshield and then circles. Okay, and then same thing, I'm gonna do this on bottom. So I'm gonna take a little smaller blending brush just so that it's a little bit smaller for the bottom and tighter on your lash line. All right, so I only have 2 of these, but it seems like one is way sparkly and the other one's more of just a shimmer. This one's denser and this one's more sheer. The shimmery one is more sheer. So I'm gonna go in with just my finger and kind of wipe it across my eye, kind of blending it up to the crease. And then I go back with that blending brush I put the matte color on with and just wipe it to make sure there's no like chunk that I stuck on there with my finger that's not blended, and that's literally it. It's so pretty, like look how glowy all of these things are. I just love the glow. Now we're gonna curl our eyelashes. This one's by Shiseido. It's been my favorite for years. I just love it. I think it does such a good job. And then I'm gonna throw a coat of mascara on. Right now I have Telescopic by L'Oreal. I like to do the bottom. Now I want to do lips. Again, I used to work at makeup stores and I do makeup for a living, so it seems like a lot, but I just have to wear lip liner. I can't just wear lipstick. I know a lot of people do that, but if that's you, make it faster, do that. I love lip liner because I feel like I have to touch up less often because this lasts so long. You could literally fill in your whole lips with lip liner and just wear chapstick. That might work too. So I'm using Strip Down from MAC. It's kind of a brown, like a warm nude brown. I think it's from years of not actually having lips. Like before my injections, I would wear a lip liner to build them up. And then the lipstick is kind of a peachy nude and it's drugstore. It's so pretty. It's called Baddest Beige. It's number 50 from Maybelline. As you know, if you watch my videos, I'm obsessed with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Luminous Light. It's my favorite one. I wear it all the time. If you heard my dog sneezing in the background. I feel like I can't do my makeup without it. It's just like the prettiest glow, and I feel like it brings back to life your makeup if you're wearing a lot of like matte products. It just looks so glowy. I just wish the lighting was better in here. Do you see just the glow? It's so pretty. I mean, you don't really need it because you do have that glow in your foundation if you added the Kosa stuff, but I wanted to show you this because I know that this Hourglass stuff is pretty expensive. MAC, Soft and Gentle. I was just looking through my collection and just to kind of switch it up so I'm not always showing you the exact same thing. Like this is the MAC one that's more shimmery. You get more of that metallic, but it's that same color. I feel like in summer, I don't mind being more shimmery, but in the winter, I don't know, I just started feeling like, oh my gosh, like this isn't 2016 anymore. Like we don't need carved out brows, highlight, liner that's winged, like everything. So I just love how this is just very soft. I love it for bridal when I'm doing makeup on brides. But as you can see, I just added that as a highlighter and it's still very, very beautiful if you just go a little soft with it. I want to put it in my inner corners too, just for fun. I just feel like as a mom, a lot of times you're tired. And so brightening anything in the eye area is always welcome for me. Like when's the last time I spent time doing an underbrow highlight? Never. I'm just doing this because I'm sitting here and you're watching. We're gonna lock in our brows that we did earlier with some clear brow gel from Anastasia, directing everything up. I just love this. It's a no-brainer. I love in the summer using a Luminous setting spray. This is from Morphe. So it still sets your makeup, but you have more of a glow. And it smells nice. All right, that is my 10-15-minute mom makeup for summer. When I spend that 10-15 minutes getting ready, it really makes me feel better, and I've gotten it down to a science. I used to just do all these different things, like, oh, I want to wear this eyeshadow today, I'm gonna do this kind of a look today, and I think if you get like a narrowed down, this is the look I'm repeating all the time, you get so fast at it. So that's kind of the point of these videos too, just showing you like this is still kind of the same routine I was doing in the winter. I just switched out a few of the products to keep it fun, maybe do a little more of the colors I like for this season, but as you can tell, I'm doing a lot of the same stuff. Everything is just very like blown out and blendy, and that way you don't have to spend so much time making it precise. It's just kind of soft. And the other key, I think, is that monochromatic vibe. I love doing that right now, especially. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.